A couple of things. Highlights this weekend were two really lovely events. On Saturday night, the First Baptist Church had a big celebration. It's an annual event, and this year they raised money, the proceeds of the tickets, for a little elementary school in Lake Worth. And I was really touched by the quality, the talent, and the effort that went into celebrating this holiday season. I look forward to going again. Well, I look forward to going to see the pastor again every Sunday. He's pretty terrific, but certainly look forward to going to this event next year. And then on Sunday we had the Horse Fest, which was an even better event than it was last year. Last year was the first year, so I think they tweaked some of the things to make it even more spectacular, including some really nice weather. I don't know if Dean Turney was specifically in charge of that, but I'll give him credit for it. So I'm going to say thank you to a great West Palm Beach resident, cares about the city and the downtown, and was able to make a connection to the beautiful polo horses out west. And I saw all the families that were down here who, most of these kids probably never have spent time around horses, not at that kind of access level, and they were just delighted. So was I. Yeah. Okay, but they're out at the polo grounds. I get that all confused. They're equestrians.
Equestrians. Yeah.
There were a couple of things, and so these are my critiques of the waterfront as I was walking back up. There are a number of places where brand new water fountains that have been installed are pitting. I mean, we've only put them in a year ago, and they're already rusting out and pitting. And garbage cans that are the metal ones that are supposed to look real hip and trendy, they looked really rusty and awful. There were a number of places throughout the waterfront park that really look shaggy, and just I think we owe it to the residents, the people who are down there, to have it looking a lot sharper than that. And then lastly, I'm going to urge this again. I'm going to keep urging it until I think that we've gotten to a place where we need to, and that's on the discussion of water. I don't want to be an alarmist, but I really personally am alarmed at the lack of conversation that this body has had on how we are going to face what I know is certain to be a problem going forward. So not just to have in a mayor commission workshop, and not just to have Mr. Hanks here to talk about it at a commission meeting, but I think a workshop is called for. And I'd like to suggest we are deciders. All of the commission are deciders of what direction we go. I know that there are a lot of consultants that have been coming to you, Mayor, and coming around the City Hall, but I want to be able to put it in not just your staff's best, his opinion. I'd like to get others' opinions so we can really take a holistic look at what the real challenges are and what are going to be the best decisions going forward. And I'm a little frustrated that we don't have that right now as we're turning the corner, heading into a dry season. It's terrific that it's been raining. It's great. But when it doesn't rain, that's when the problem is. So I would ask that sometime in January, Mayor, you could give us some dates for an extensive workshop that really looks at all of it, and that more detail, which I asked for the last meeting, which Mr. Mitchell still has not been sent to me. Copy of the proposal Mr. Hanks came forward with, along with a price tag associated with it, and what kind of water he, and quantities he expects to gain from it. So all of the questions that I asked him that night, none of them were answered.
And that's because of me. So I'll explain that when you're done.
Okay, then I'm officially done.
I don't know if you have any other comments. I don't want to step on your comment. Yeah, no, you and the others and me, we asked Mr. Hanks to come back with some numbers. He's worked that up and put that together. I have asked a group of independent advisors to come in and review that with us. And then we will schedule a workshop in January to go over everything with you. We've had The Water Catchment Advisory Committee, they are going to be looking at it, and this group of advisors that I've put together will be looking at it. I want to make sure that everything is in there that needs to be in there, and I want to get some opinions from them that we can then bring to you, and we can have a full discussion in January. We can have a separate workshop if that's what you'd like. That's not a problem. Happy to do it.
There were a couple of things that I did ask for that he said he had that he was using to make that judgment call on some of the recommendations. So not even just the price of some of the items that he had on the list, but there were some other things in there that I asked for that he, like consultant studies that showed that the suggestions he was making would be, would warrant our investment of time and money. So those are the things that you can't come to us, he couldn't come to us making those recommendations without certain information. That information should have been, that should have been given to us that night. The fact that it's still 2 weeks later, you guys.
Please.
You guys.
What I'd like to do is present it all in a package.
Right, but you know what? This is a lot of information. You have a staff
How about we get it to you?
You have a staff of many, and I don't. So I want to.
I have a staff of many where? Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't have a utility director that works just for me, but, so it's a lot of information, and I want to get it right. And I don't want to get it right the day, you know what it was like to come walking into a big presentation on a big issue and be seeing it for the first time.
We will not let that happen. We'll
Okay.
make sure that you have it
Okay.
2 weeks ahead of the presentation so you can review it.
you.
Yeah, I understand that.
I know you do. I do.
All right.
Thanks.
I guess it's my turn.